Welcome to the Environmental Stressor Workshop presented by Dr. Irwin Eli. Dr. Eli will demonstrate the effects of often invisible phenomenon and modern-day appliances that lead to symptoms of energy depletion and disease. Dr. Eli will share restoration techniques that will promote well-being and simple techniques that will protect you and your ʻohana. Dr. Irwin Eli, DC, is a chiropractor and Lomi practitioner who has been practicing for over 50 years. He has dedicated the last 17 years working for the Hui no ke ola Pono, serving our native Hawaiian community here on Maui. Dr. Eli was born and raised on Oahu in Papakolea. He attended college at BYU at Laie and moved to Washington State and attended Palmer College of Chiropractic, where he received his degree. After receiving his degree, he opened his chiropractic office in Puyallup, Washington. When he decided to move back home to Hawaii to be closer to his family, his son, Rockne Eli, continued his business. Dr. Eli is a Lua Hawaiian martial arts practitioner, master, along with his brother, Mitchell Eli. Dr. Eli sits on the Kupuna Council for the Hui no ke ola Pono, and he will be retiring this year. It will be so sad to see him leave Hui no ke ola Pono and returning to Puyallup to continue his work alongside his son. Assisting Dr. Eli today is Kamalu Rolus and Kavika Davidson, both who are Lomi specialists at Hui no ke ola Pono here in Wailuku. Thank you so much, Dr. Eli, for sharing your knowledge.
You're welcome. So today I'm going to talk on environmental stress, and I hope you enjoy it. And before I begin, I am going to also talk on how to heal the healer. So that you can, those in the healing art can also heal themselves. Okay, so I'd like to begin with the 5 essentials of life. This is things that we need, without we would die. Everybody needs air. Everybody needs water. Without air, you can probably live 5 minutes or less, then you get brain damage. Without water, you might be able to live 30 days, 2 weeks, 30 days. Food, you might be able to live a month or 2. People have been buried in earthquakes and they find them months later. They're still alive. You need sleep. And we're talking good sleep. And we need a good functioning nervous system so that the brain can communicate to the whole body. And in that way, everything runs more efficiently and repairs itself like how it should. Okay, so now I would like to go to this side here. What you can do to help yourself. So for the air, we need to improve our oxygen intake. And a good way to test your oxygen intake, and maybe I'll have everybody out there do this when I tell them to. I want everybody to take a deep breath and then hold their breath, and I'm going to time it every 5 seconds. I'll say 5, 10, 15, 20, and we'll just see how long you can hold your breath. And I'll just do that for about a minute. I'm not going to go beyond a minute, okay? So everybody take a deep breath and hold it as long as you can, starting now. 5, 10, 15,
Okay, if you don't mind.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So we'll end there. So how many of you could hold your breath for the whole 45 seconds? Probably a few of you couldn't. So now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to sit up straight. I want you to throw your shoulders back. I want you to bring your head back. And then we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so I want you to take a breath and hold it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Now, how many could hold your breath longer than the first time? So posture makes a big difference on the breath. So to improve your oxygen intake, you have to exercise, and you can take antioxidants. I'm lazy. I don't like to exercise a lot. So I look for the easiest exercises I could do to get by. And the number one easiest exercise for the laziest people is just by doing this. Go in the shower, turn it to ice cold, 1 minute, turn it to hot, 1 minute, turn it to ice cold, 1 minute, turn it to hot, 1 minute, turn it to ice, 1 minute, turn it to hot, 3 minutes. So you do 3 times hot and 3 times cold. Remember when you go in the ocean, you first start going in, your body shrinks and you shrivel, your muscles all contract. That's what happens with the cold. And when you turn the heat on, the muscles expand. So you're getting whole body movement with hot and cold shower. Anybody can sit in the shower and make hot and cold. And it's also good hygiene. You smell better. The second thing that's fairly easy to do is to buy one of those mini trampolines. You can jump up and down on it. So when your body is going up, all the liquids in the cells are going up. When your body starts down, there's a resistance where things have to turn around and start down. So this kind of movement in all the cells is also very, very helpful, and it causes big movements in the body. And the third thing that I would do, this is for the lazy people, I would buy a vibration plate. So you just stand on it and shake. 3 easy exercises. Nobody needs to do anything there, and nobody can make an excuse that it's too hard. Okay? The next, we want to increase our water supply. I was working on a patient last week, and I says, you need to drink more water. She says, I don't drink more than a glass of water a day. So she's dehydrated. She has a lot of chronic problems. It's very difficult to work on people that are dehydrated and get good results. But she says, I drink a lot of liquid. When you add something, water is a detoxifier. It detoxifies things in the blood. It dilutes things, so poisons are diluted. Anything that you add to water is not considered a water anymore. it's considered a food or something different. So you need to drink at least a quart for every 50-pound body weight you have. I know it sounds like a lot. I know water has no taste, but what's good for you is not always what you like. Proper nutrition. So proper nutrition means you want to eat live foods. So I'm going to have Kavika come over here on this side and demonstrate on you how we do nutrition or how we check for it. So I'm going to use, this is a muscle testing. This is what we call muscle testing. So I'm pushing down on Kavika. I'm testing his body mechanics to go into his biocomputer to let me know whether he needs something or not. Okay, so normal means if I'm pushing down on him and he's strong, that's normal. If his body gives out like this, that means the response is causing a problem. So the body doesn't like that. All right. So let's show you how nutrition works. So say I have something like
You want to hold it up?
Cheetos. Yummy with fire in it. So if I test Kavika and he's strong and I put something on his body and he gets weak, that means the body doesn't like it. Okay, so let me put a Hershey candy bar on him. He gets weak, and I can put this anywhere. God, it's terrible. On his body, and he'll get weak. Yeah, I'll do that later on. This is toasted coconut granola bar. He gets weak. So let's try 70% dark chocolate. This is Lily's dark chocolate. See, he stays strong. So that means his body could take this and not cause any problem. So here's a carrot. Okay. He stayed strong. Here's an apple. So he stayed strong. So that means the body will eat these foods and enjoy it, and it'll be nutritious. Okay. So the difference between this and this, almost anything in a package is not a live food. It's preserved. It has preservatives. It's made to last a long time. If you look at some of the shelf lives on these things, 2 years, 3 years. So anything in a package with preservatives usually is not a good food. It's just fillers, but that doesn't mean it's nutritious. It just fills you up and you feel good about it because you like the taste.
Mm-hmm.
A live food has enzymes in it. The enzymes breaks down the food. So this will rot after a certain period of time. This will rot after a certain period of time. Any live food will rot after a certain period of time. Even meat will rot after a certain period of time. So a live food will rot because of the enzymes in it. So anything like this is what you can eat, and it'll be easier on the body. If you have a lot of stomach problems, digestive problems, try eating just one food per meal. That way your body only has to make enough enzymes or digestive juices to break down one food. When you go to a smorgasbord, you take a little bit of everything, and by the time you're done, you got like 10 things on your plate. Now your digestive tract has to go and make digestive juices to try to digest everything and the combinations that they're gonna form. So therefore, it's way or much harder for your body to digest stuff at smorgasbord. So if you have stomach problems, try to go down to a mono diet, one thing per meal. You know, you can have carrots one meal, bananas the next meal. You can have a salad, you know, but that's what you need to do. Okay, so any questions on nutrition? I can answer them right now if you have any. Okay, if not, we'll go on. I'm going to talk on sleep. One of the tortures that Japanese did to American soldiers was to deprive them of sleep during the war. After a while, the body would malfunction. The brain would malfunction first, then the body would malfunction. We need to have at least 7 to 9 hours sleep per night. If you have trouble sleeping, you need to turn off the TV by 8 o'clock. You need to stay off of cell phones. And you need to be in bed by 10 o'clock. Between 10 and 2, your hormones are rebuilding the body. So if you watch TV till 1 o'clock, you'll only have an hour. Your body doesn't have the full repair time to repair the hormones. Between 1 and 4, the body is rebuilding other things, muscle tissue, nervous tissue. So we need to be in our deep sleep then. So between 10 to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, hormones are rebuilding. 1 to 4, the rest of the body is rebuilding. We need to have sleep. The other thing you do not want by your head is photo alarm clocks that shines, that's close to your head so that you can just reach over and shut them off in the morning. That is not good for you. And let me explain why, but I'll show you by doing the first of this electromagnetic flux with Kavika. So come around here, Kavika. So I'm going to start by testing a strong muscle. And this is just a regular hair dryer that we all used to use. I used to use it a lot. I blew all my hair off.
Oh, gotta press
now I
the
gotta
reset
What?
on the plug.
Oh, okay. So now I'm going to put this by Kavika and we'll see what happens. So I'll just put this over here. Hold up. So I'll move it away. Hold up. Okay. So now,
Unplug off, Kavika.
understood.
Oh,
So anything that's electrical produces some kind of an electromagnetic flux. Neon lights, all your stoves, your TVs, your computers, they all cause electromagnetic flux. And that, over a period of time, can injure the body. Okay, so an example is, you remember in the old days before computer cashiers came out, cash registers came out, everybody had the old cash registers. You never saw anybody with carpal tunnel problems. After the new fancy cash registers came out that made the job so easy, you saw a lot of those gals with braces because they had surgeries on their wrist. Electromagnetic causes carpal tunnels. Made they work easier, but it also caused a lot more carpal tunnels. Okay, so the other thing I want to do now is so we know the body gets weak when you're around an electrical device. But now I'm going to move it away. So at this distance, it's not affecting him as much as this distance. So we have a safe area in our auras. And anything that's dangerous, we want out of our safe area. Just like some people, you know, they can irritate you out of my aura. Yes. And this is the worst thing that's been invented for the body. So how many of you still have landlines? That's good. Landlines are good. I just gave up my landline. I didn't, my wife did. So, because she was looking at cost effectiveness, we never used it except for sending message over it. So this is what a cell phone does. So again, I'll test. I'll put the cell phone on Kavika. Hold. So that makes him weak. I'll take it away, put it on. That makes it weak. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing. So this is almost the same distance he had with the dryer. So outside of this distance, it's okay for the phone. So that's why I leave my phone on my desk when I work. I never carry it with me. Okay, relax. The other thing with cell phones is they've been finding research that show that there's more brain tumors in people nowadays because of cell phones. Women like to put it in the hip because they don't want to carry purses. They've also found that there's more degenerative hips where the cell phone is. And also women that shove this in the bras, there's also more breast problems. So that's the problem with the cell phone. But everybody wants one, everybody needs one, and nobody's going to give it up. And therefore, we'll see those problems. The best place for the cell phone is away from you and just use it when you need it. Any questions? Okay. I shall go on. I was talking to nutrition before, huh? Yeah. Okay. So
Here the electromagnetic stuff.
Yeah.
okay. So again, any kind of electro appliance run by AC current, plug it in, AC current, goes against our natural body's electrical charge, which runs by DC current, which is direct current. So, you know, people, like I said, we're in a convenience world. We like all the conveniences, and we don't go back to nature as much as we should. Therefore, more chronic problems that people cannot, they know they have, but nobody can figure out what it is.
Doc, we get one question. How about computers and laptops?
That's exactly the same as the cell phone. Very, you can get within a certain space on your computer and it'll start causing your body to degrade. And the one thing I found,
Get one more, sorry. How many hours of use is safe?
depends on your body's immune system. If you're weak, it doesn't take much time for it to start weakening your body. If you're strong, you know, your immune system's good, you can work all day, but it's still gonna affect you because you're working in that electrical field. So one of the things we have found to help it along is what we call a bipolar magnet. And I'm sorry I don't know the address. I forgot the name of the company. I haven't bought it for a while. But let me show you how this works. So we'll use the hair dryer again. Okay, so the body gets weak every time I put this on. So now all I'm gonna do is Kavika hold this, then I'm gonna put this back on her. Then I'm gonna push down. So, so
What is it called again, Doc?
it's called a bipolar magnet.
Okay.
The only difference between this magnet and a regular polar magnet is this has north, south, north, south, north, south, north, south. The whole magnet is north, south. It doesn't have a north, south. Okay, so when a regular magnet is pulled away from a source, the magnetism disappears. When this magnet is used in a source and pulled away, it doesn't take away the effects of what it was doing. So we'll turn this cell phone on and we'll use the cell phone. So this makes Kavika weak, so we'll let him hold the magnet. Not. So again, that seems to help. The body says, that makes me stronger. I like it. So about the computers, if you work in front of a computer for years, you're going to have problems.
Yeah.
Get the magnet without the address. The other thing I want to talk about is posture. When I go posture and exercise, when I'm driving to work, I see a lot of people walking for exercise. I see a lot of them walking with a cell phone. So when you look at somebody's posture, the hip, the shoulder, and the ear should be in a straight line. And that's good posture. when people use a cell phone, they're not walking like this. They're walking like this so that they can see what they're doing and the ground. So what they're doing in this position, they wear out the disc so that the head keeps dropping forward and the hump here gets bigger because that's the counterbalance for the head. All right. So the head drops, you wear out the disc, the hump gets bigger. And as time goes on, you won't be able to correct it because gravity always wins. And once you wear out the disc, there's no replacing it. So you want to take care of yourself when you're young, and you want to get your kids' posture upright and proper. I remember when I went to school years ago, when I went to school, everybody said, sit up straight, stand straight. You know, nowadays you look at kids when they sit down and they're playing with their iPads and stuff, they're all scrunched up in chairs and, you know, they don't have good posture. So this is one of the worst things that has ever happened for posture.
Doctor, one question.
Question.
Are there double-blind studies showing similar results for muscle testing? Example, where neither the doc or the patient knows if it's a cell phone or a chocolate. You know what I mean?
I don't know of any, but I'm sure there has been, because it works on everybody.
Mm-hmm. Whether they know it or not.
Yeah, no exception.
Okay.
No exception. I've
Yes.
never found one person I put the cell phone on that didn't get weak. And the worst thing to do is move and have it on you talking, because we're bombarded by radiation waves, radio waves. So when you're moving, the sensor in the phone is trying to find, the radio wave is trying to find a sensor. So more waves is hitting your body when you're moving. You never want to talk on the phone in the car. You get more bombarded, you know. Again, if you look at your house, I had a landline, but I had five stations. So when one rings, you can go to any room and answer it. There's still a lot of communication between those phones by radiation of some kind. So that's why there's so much radiation around us that, you know, our bodies is not as strong as it used to be when we're back in the old days in the 20s and the late 1800s. They didn't have all this stuff. It started coming out in the 40s and 50s. So therefore, lots of older people had stronger bodies than we do now. Now we got lazy bodies. Any other question? Okay, so I'll talk a little bit on colors. So colors are important. And a lot of these follow the chakras of the body. Red is for the sexual, orange is for the second chakra, yellow is for alertness, green helps build the lung, it's calming. Blue is also calming, cool. So if you're a hard person, you want to paint a room you're in all the time blue. If you're hyper, you need to meditate, you want a purple room. So this is kind of how it happens again. So if I just have somebody look at a color, I can muscle test them. So again, yellow is a good color for alertness. So if you have an office, a home office, yellow is a good color to paint it. Green, if you have lung problems, paint your room green, or one room in a wall green so that you can look at it all the time. Okay. We'll just do this one. So this is pink. Pink makes Kavika weak. So his body doesn't like pink. So he doesn't want pink around him. The other thing is pink calms the body down. So a lot of prisons have a pink holding room to calm the person down when they first go in it. So that's basically colors. The next we'll go over is some smells. Nobody likes smelly people. But everybody likes to smell. So I'm just going to use what I have over here. I have a cologne, I have an essential oil, and then I have one of these. So what I'll do is I'll just have Kavika smell, and then I'll test him. So this is cologne, man cologne. I like it. Oh, see, now you can smell me and you're not going to get weak. This is a peppermint oil. This is also good for headaches. I would rub it by the nose where you can smell it. And then it helps a lot of headaches. I mix it with vodka so that it's thinner. It's not a straight oil, which may irritate the skin. Okay. This is an alcohol pad, usually. So his body says, I don't like that. Why is it? Because every time we smell that, we know we're going to get poked, or we're in a hospital, or there's some kind of illness or something around. So that's the association that we have with alcohol. In fact, every time I see that coming out, I tighten up a little bit because I know, even though that prick is fast, it's still shocking for a little bit. And that's the association. So while we're talking about association, let's also talk on thoughts. Okay? Can you project thoughts? Can thoughts help? So I'll check Kavika again. So what I want you to do out there. So I'm going to show you two sayings. This is one, and I'm going to test Kavika, and I'm going to show you another saying. So when I show you the first one, you just read it and add Kavika's name to it at the end. And the second one, you read it and add Kavika's name to the end, so that we're just dealing with Kavika, not me. Okay? So gonna test Kavika and see what happens. All right, so everybody look at this. And I'll test Kavika again. And be strong. So everybody look at this. And I'll test Kavika. Think of this. So he gets weak. So does that mean that thought can travel over a distance and help somebody? Have you ever heard of teledistance healing? Some people are capable of doing it. How are they doing it? Does this make sense? So everybody look at that again. And put Kavika's name at the end of it. So we want to leave them in the best possible condition. We don't want to weaken them and leave them like that. Although he's a pretty strong guy, you can take it. And we also have to forgive. Forgiveness. So this is basically how we forgive. Like say he's done something to me and I need to forgive him. I'm gonna say to myself, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for thinking bad of him. Thank you. And I love you. So I'm projecting those thoughts to help me, not him. See, I'm the one that's causing the problem to myself. So that's how we forgive people. Say, I'm sorry, please forgive me for what I did. Thank you for forgiving me. I love you. Okay, so while we're at it, I'll test Kavika again. And this probably will be the last thing I talk on. This is what we call emotional stress. So everybody has some kind of an emotional stress. All right, it could be money, it could be family, it could be you, it could be the dog, it could be the neighbor's dog. Everybody has some kind of stress. Could be a car crash, could be something. Anyway, this is how to help it. So we test a strong muscle. Then we think of something that's causing you stress. Okay? So I don't want to know what he is thinking because that might stress me out. I just want him to think it because the correction will be only on him. Okay? So again, hold up. Think of whatever it was that stressed you out. So now we're going to do the correction. So when you do this at home, what you want to do is you want to think of the problem that's causing you. If the main problem is going to be the first ones you think of after you get up. If you think of taxes, I got to pay my taxes, and then you're going to work on taxes all day long. You're only going to think of taxes and work on the points I show you. You don't want to work on 5 different things. Everybody has more than one problem. So that confuses the brain. So you want one problem per day. Okay, so think of their problem. See, every time he thinks of it, it makes him weak. Think of something different. So see, makes him strong when you think of something different. Think of the problem again. Always makes him weak. So now the correction is, relax. You're gonna tap on the forehead, right where the horns come out. And you're gonna tap on the jaw. When you open your mouth, where you feel the jaw move at the top, you're gonna tap that. So you're gonna tap about a minute apiece. So I'll have Kavika tap the bottom, I'll tap the top. That way it's faster. You can do it by yourself at home, but for demonstrations, it's faster if I help. Okay, that's good enough. So, all right. So I'm gonna check him in the clear again. Now I'm gonna have him think of that same problem that he thought about this. Okay. Oh. So what's happening? Why did he get stronger thinking of the same problem? So lots of times when you pull up a problem and you look at it, you put charge on it, it causes the body to break down. Like my dad died, I can look at it, say my dad died, or I can go, oh, my dad died, and fall apart. You know, it's the charge you put on it that caused the problem. So when you do this tapping on an emotional problem, you're pulling it up, tapping the brain and putting it back in so that you take some of the charge off. So it doesn't affect you as much. Any questions on that? Okay, so the only other thing that I'll show you is basically what I call, is that good for me? So is that good for me? What it means is you want to tune your body in so that you can ask itself questions and get answers. You want to get answers from the universe. You want to get answers from someplace. Okay? Answers that come from the mouth is usually thought first, and then you say what you think. It's not an answer that just comes from outside in. Anything you think is, you make it up. So what we're going to do is, I want everybody to stand up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign a yes and a no to you. I want you to just stand relaxed. If you want to stand with your eyes closed, stand with your eyes closed. So when you're standing, I'm going to say, give me a yes, and stand and relax. I want you to let your body just float forward a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to say, give me a no. And I want you to relax and let your body just kind of relax and float backwards. Okay, so I'm going to say, give me a no, and we'll see where your body goes. Give me a yes, and we'll see where your body goes. Okay, so I want you to practice that. Give me a yes, give me a no. Then you're going to ask yes or no answers. Like, my name is Mary. If you go back, that means a no. My name is Sue. My name is Jerry. My name is Irwin. And you'll start feeling this, okay? So now, when you go to a health food store or someplace and you pick up, somebody says, you need calcium lactate. And on the shelf, there's 6 different calcium lactates. Which one do you buy? You pick up the first one and you say, is this good for me? If you go forward, then next question is it beneficial? If you go backwards, you put it back on the shelf. Pick the next one up. Is this good for me? Yes. Is it beneficial? Yes. Then I buy it. Okay, so you can do this with a lot of different things, different foods. Is this good for me? Nope. Is this good for me? Nope. Is this good for me? Yep. Then I'll buy this. So what your body tells you is what you should listen to. And I want to thank you all for being with me this afternoon. I enjoyed myself. Letting you learn a few things that I've found out over the 50 years that I've been practicing with. So mahalo. And I hope you all can use what I showed you.
Thank you, Dr. Eli, for sharing your knowledge with us today. Very interesting. I had an experience with Dr. Eli where he had a bunch of different bottles down on the table, and he did the same kind of thing. And of course, I didn't know what was in each of the bottles. And, I'm very skeptical, kind of, a scientific sort of person. And, what he says really worked on me. And then I found out that there was this one kind of food supplement that, I needed. And I've since been taking it. I've been really feeling really great. So, thank you, Dr. Eli, and for sharing, your knowledge on the environmental stressors that we have around us and how we can help ourselves.
Yes, you're welcome.
Any other comments? Just unmute yourself. Oh, you can see on the chat, everyone is saying thank you so much, Dr. Eli. So awesome.
Okay, you're welcome.
There's always more to learn.
But I'm